Hello everyone, I'm doing a quick update on my Kindle Colorsoft. Oops. I've now had it for, when did I buy it? Well, a couple of weeks now. And I know that one of the things that some people were complaining about it was the battery life. But honestly, I feel like the battery life is really good on this device. Maybe not as good as like the Kindle Basic or Signature, but that's because you do usually have to keep the light on to some degree. And I usually keep mine on these settings right here. Brightness at 7% and warmth temperature at 5%. Yeah, 5%. And I usually keep the vividness on as well. So far, I haven't really noticed if the vividness messes with the battery life at all. But I read 4.5 books on a single charge. I think I took notes. And each book was a 5 to 7 hour read. I may have read them faster than that, I don't know. But it was like a couple of romances and like a sci-fi book. It's the one I've been focusing on at this point. This is my Books Tab Mini C at around the same brightness. And then I have the Kindle Basic. This is just showing you the different screens, and this one is at 0 brightness. This is my Colorsoft at 7 and my Basic at 0. So no matter what, this one is still going to be slightly darker unless you bump the brightness up, but you don't really want to do that because, you know, once it gets to a certain brightness level, then you're going to be struggling with any eye strain that you were having with any of your other LCD screen devices. For your expectations for a color e-ink screen, I would say think newsprint. The grayness of the newspaper and the way the type looks on the pages, as well as the color comics in the back of a newspaper, that's what you're going to be expecting when you get a color e-ink screen. So like, don't buy it and expect LCD. Like, nobody is telling you to expect that. If you've set those expectations up in your mind, you haven't done enough research. So like, research one of these devices first. If you have a Best Buy, see if you can go in there and check. Pretty much any e-ink screen is going to look the same. So even if you're not able to look at a Kindle Colorsoft in specific, if they have a books device or they have just any of the other color e-ink devices, if you're able to see one of those in person, you'll be able to get an idea of what to realistically expect when you get to one of these screens. One of the things that I really like about this, and why I've been reading on it so frequently, is you can double tap to change a page. But yeah, I kind of like it even better than button pressing. And you have to figure out what pressure is needed in order to change the page. I haven't made too many accidental page turns that way, but you can't really go back in this fashion. You will have to, you know, go back to the screen in order to go back a page. But you can double tap anywhere and move and progress in the book, which is something that I really, really like. One thing that I don't like, and this is something that's on pretty much all of the e-readers, is like when you select, and then if you want to do a different color, you have to click in order to change which color. And then once you change the color, if you want to make a note, you have to click it again. I feel like they should work out a different system for that. Maybe have like your different colors along the top, because I feel like it kind of breaks immersion into the book, having to, you know, constantly go back in and select if you want to pick a different color for your highlights, or if you want to make a note, you have to go back as well. But like, maybe if they can have like a little bar along the top, like what I've done with my Books Tab Mini C in the Neo reader. I've got a really tiny bar up here so that if I want to change which color or pen that I'm using for highlighting or writing, I can just select there without breaking my immersion into the book too much. The reason I don't use this device as often for reading is because it's one of the heavier devices that I own, and it might be like one of the heavier e-readers at this size, especially, that exists right now. Like, it's a brick. Like, I was really hoping when they made this, the Go Color 7, that it would replace my Books Tab Mini C. But the writing on this, It did replace my Oasis. I did end up like selling my Oasis so I can like do the with the little clicky buttons over here, but like I don't know. I honestly honestly might sell it because I don't use it as much as I thought I would, because I was planning on getting that, selling my Oasis and my Books Tab Mini C, but the writing on this is just so nice and it fits pretty well in a lot of my bags. So a few of the other notes that I took on my Kindle Colorsoft is that when I was reading, it went from 10% to 7% over a course of 4 hours with the brightness at 8%. Because I was reading at night, I just had it, you know, propped up and had it just in front of my face for 4 hours. So yeah, a decrease of like 3% is not bad at all. And this was, you know, when it was starting to run out of charge. And then starting at around 4:45 a.m. from 7%, I kept getting the low battery warnings to the point that I went ahead and charged it because they just kept popping up so frequently. And it takes almost exactly 2 hours to charge to 100%. I've noticed that's the case for almost any of my other devices as well. I think that I noted that it needs a highlight row or a better way to cycle through the colors for highlighting, and it should also have an underline option. And I feel like they should add green or something. I have the vividness up right now so they're not as close, but I really hate like the brownish looking color. I just want something a little more you know, a little more pastel, like a green. I think I just don't like the orange, but if it was a green, I think I would like it a lot better, because I do like the blue and the pink and the yellow, but I don't really use the oranges frequently because I just don't like how it looks. It's, you know, it's really way up there with the e-readers that I really like to use. I also got one of those Kindle pillows so I could just, you know, pop it on here. And this little one I find is a lot sturdier than the big one with like the 2 cups. This one doesn't fall over as much and it holds it really good in one position. Sometimes I even like put it flat and then like lay this like face up so I can, you know, read while I'm looking down or while I'm doing my hair. But yeah, this little stand is really good, and it will hold my Kindle Scribe as well as my Books Go 10.3. It also holds my Kindle Fire. See, it holds my Kindle Fire very well, and I usually just use it to like watch shows or do puzzles with it propped up like this. And here it's got my Books Go 10.3, and it holds it very well in place. And I usually use this one if I like, you know, want like that big screen experience with reading a big book. And it's so crisp. This is one of the devices that doesn't have its own light system. Oop, I accidentally opened the library, but whatever. This is one of the devices that doesn't have its own light system, but that screen is just so gorgeous that I don't know, like if you're not too fussed about like having a book light for this or like a little lamp for night reading, this is just one of the most beautiful screens in the daytime. And like, it's big, but it's super, super lightweight. Ooh, that magnet is strong. But yeah, it's super, super lightweight. Like, it and the Kindle Scribe are about the same weight to me. But I feel like the Kindle Scribe is just a tad bit heavier and thicker. This is, look at this, is like a little, so good. I'm gonna talk about everything under the sun. Gotta be one of my favorite devices. If you're looking for like super vibrant colors, temper your expectations. Look at one in person before you buy one. Look at other people's reviews and not the people who were like, I was expecting a super vibrant screen. Like, they're not the ones that you want opinions from. You want opinions on how the screen looks from people who were expecting it, you know? Like, I think that looks really good to me. Like, newsprint. Like, you know, just keep newspapers in mind when you're going to buy one. Tap function. Oh, that's one of my favorite things. Oh, and if you want to listen to books on it, just turn on Bluetooth, and then you can listen to your audiobooks, or you can, so just make sure you connect it to any Bluetooth device, like either your little earbuds, headphones, or exterior speaker. And then you will go to all settings, accessibility, voice reader, screen reader, and then from this point forward, you'll need to double click your selections. I don't know if you can hear it through the speaker, but it's telling you. And if you feel like you need more instruction, just do the tutorial. It's quick. It tells you to swipe down the screen like this in order to start it reading, but usually she'll give the instructions and start reading herself. I mean, whoever you've put on as your voice. There's a loud clicking sound whenever you make a selection or whenever the page turns. And then you just tap the screen, it quits. This is how like the simple colored graphic novels look like on here. This one is mostly blue. But that's how it flits between pages, and I think it looks great. And the more complex looking one, I feel like I showed y'all this last time as well, but you know, just a refresher. This is how the more complex colored ones look on here. And on these, you can go into the different panels. You can do that on the Heartstopper one too, so that you can see them more closely. And I just bumped the brightness all the way up on this one because a lot of this comic takes place at night and in stormy weather conditions. Uh-oh. Did I just get like a white screen of doom? What's going on? Oh gosh. Did it just die? Like, what just happened? And then it like comes back on to this white screen. Oh gosh. I haven't dropped it or anything like in the time that I've had it. Is it struggling with this comic? It doesn't make sense. Let me restart it. I might have to put in for a new one if it that stresses me out. I would definitely rather get it replaced sooner rather than later. They do have newer ones with fewer storage space as well as no wireless charging, and they're around the same price as these. I would never buy a Kindle Colorsoft at full price. It doesn't do enough to justify a price of over $200. Definitely get it if it's on discount, or if you have some trade-ins you can use, or if you can get it from secondhand, because some people consider it an upgrade of the Kindle Signature. I would say it's a side grade. All you're getting is color and a screen with less contrast. So I would consider it a side grade of the Signature, not an upgrade. Okay, now it's come back up. Oh my goodness. I really hope it doesn't like short out on me again or whatever happened to it. Panels that you'd probably need on these smaller screens. Another thing that I feel like could use improvement, you know how I was talking about the highlighting issue that could also be, you know, you can also do underlines, is the input for notes. The typing isn't so bad at all, like it goes in pretty good, but if you can correct some of those. But say I mess up a word somewhere in the middle, like functional. And if I want to change it to function, see how it jumps out half of the word instead of just correcting the word into a different word? I feel like that's a software issue that they can fix pretty easily. And I feel like there was a better predictive text option. It's not terrible, but I wish it would, also suggest a next word as well, since the typing is also already pretty slow for putting in notes. I wish with the price range that the Colorsoft as well as the signature device is, I wish there was an option to do voice input for your notes. It's over $200. Like those other devices you can write on are also around that price, over $200. Some of them also have built-in speakers, and you can connect a page turner through Bluetooth. You don't have to have something you clip onto your device. They have all of those functions around the same price. So I don't understand why they can't put a little mic on these devices so you can speak in what you want to write, since this isn't exactly up to par, in my opinion. Do they still sell Tab Mini Cs? I don't know. But this is one that I would definitely, this one is really a bang for your buck. I just wish it wasn't so heavy. I love this one though. You can also look at the notes you've taken by going to this little notebook, so you can see your annotations, and it'll show you what color they were highlighted in, and you can sort by color. See, notes are the ones that I've written in, which is 17. Highlights, that has how many highlights I've made, and this is highlights per color: yellow, orange, pink. I think I used pink for the main character, and then blue for information about the second lead character, and then orange and yellow for like setting and like mood type things. But yeah, let's take a look here. And then these are all the pink highlights. So stuff like Harriet isn't a fool. Harriet is the main character. She wishes she had smiled for him. It suits Artemisia well. She's thinking about the second lead character. This is a really cute book, and I think it should be read. It's very, very cute. I think it's what people call a cozy romance, where you can just like get under your blankets, and there's like a lot of rain in the book, so yeah. Really cute. Muse of Missing Pieces, and it's about two artists. One is the drawing type, painting type artist, and the other, she's what is it, mosaics. She does mosaics. And it's not like enemies to love or anything. It's like I don't know, it's just two people getting to know each other type of book. It's really cute.